Alright folks, OpenClaw just dropped another update 4.22, and it seems like from this release they're pushing further into multimodal workflows, live voice interaction, and easier day-to-day operator use. So in the spirit of OpenClaw going more multimodal, we're also going to be making our own presentation more multimodal as best as we can. So say hello to OpenClaw avatar here. If you think he's cute, smash up that like button and let's go. So in this update, we got 4 new things that landed in the release. We have the XAI full integration. So OpenClaw is now supporting Grok Imagine and Grok Imagine Pro for image generation with 6 live XAI voices for TTS and STT, all baked into the default provider roster. So there's no need to have a separate plugin install. So you can actually go ahead and try using Grok for generating those images. And the second thing we got is real-time voice transcription on voice call. So you can now stream through DeepGram, 11 Labs, and Mistral, and those live transcription can land directly in agent context. There's no batch delay between the user speaking and the agent hearing it. So this is pretty helpful for taking notes in meetings and such. And thirdly, for the local TUI mode, there's a native terminal UI for operators who don't want a browser. Keyboard first, 0 Chrome. So this is more so for the OG developers who just use the keyboard for their terminal sessions. But if you've been running OpenClaw in a screen session with a messy workaround, you can go for this approach. But for this TUI, in this 4.22 release, I think it's not like a smart TUI, not much like the interface release from the Hermes agent. We did a video about that this morning, where you get a much greater visibility into the tool calling, sub-agent spawnings, and task executions of your Hermes agent. So you can check that video out for the full details. And lastly, from OpenClaw, the missing provider and channel plugins now install themselves on first use. So onboarding used to dead end on plugin not found errors. I'm sure you've seen this at least once in your life. About this is like a 70% chance you'll see it, right? But now this addressed that issue. It sort of works now. You don't really see plugin not found error during the onboard. So this is more so for the new OpenClaw users coming in. And that's pretty much it for the release. I think there's nothing big here to cover, but those are the 4 new things in the 4.22 release. And I noticed that they shipped this in fragment with the previous OpenClaw updates. So like OpenClaw users are getting bits by bits rather than having the whole thing and at once. So just to refresh your memory, 4.21 we got the GPT, the default image gen was GPT image 2, but now you get Grok Imagine. But if you ever want to switch back to GPT image 2, you can. And the 4.20 setup wizard restyle, so the onboarding process feels a lot smoother. So we're seeing that the auto plugin installed from this release complements this. GPT-5 system prompts and the first version of a skill safety scanner for the marketplace. And in the 4.15 release, Claude Opus 4.7 support, Gemini TTS, and bounded memory reads. So we're now capping recall size, so memory can't run away consume tokens. And previously in the 4.12 update, that's the one that broke Google Vertex Gemini routing in Docker. 4.10, that's active memory. This is the one that has the dedicated memory sub-agent handling recalls on demand rather than stuffing everything into the main context. So this is a pretty good behavioral shift there. And lastly, with the 4.8 of this entire month's release was the Gemma 4 integration and optimized local inference. So this is the free local fallback that helped a lot of users ride out the Anthropic billing changes in April. So yeah, we got the full timeline, 16 different releases in the past 4 months. And I want to say, looking back from all of the OpenClaw updates and where OpenClaw is right now today, is we notice each capability is tagged with the version it actually landed in. So there's 4 pillars here. So from now on, basically the point is this: from now on, whenever there's a new OpenClaw update, keep these 4 pillars in mind. Agentic intelligence, so we're way past chat here. This is how you work with your agents. ecosystem and interop, so the Claw Hub marketplace from 3.22, unified skills distribution, native MCP support from 3.15, also wired in 800 plus external tools. ACP dispatch from 3.2 standardizes cross-channel agent handoff, so an agent started on WhatsApp can hand off cleanly to a Discord channel. Where was that when I needed it? Because I did that in January. And then of course the new direction that they're going forward now is with the multimodal with multimodal. Multimodal. And lastly, with trust and security. So secret ref with 64 target services, pluggable sandboxes, the skill safety scanner, and fail closed defaults across the board. So this is the pillar I'd point to if anyone asks whether OpenClaw is ready for production. Quick answer, it's not. So from those 4 pillars, I think we're getting a pretty decent feel now for what their future releases are going to look like. So these are the 4 roadmap hints that might potentially be coming. We think that there might be a multi-agent orchestration with shared identity. That can be pretty cool. Plug-in SDK v2 with type testable contracts, native vector memory so we can drop the external RAG stack, and the capability of configuring UI on the web dashboard. That way we don't need to hand edit the JSON files on OpenClaw dashboard. So that's pretty much it for the OpenClaw updates. I don't think they're getting sharper, but they're definitely becoming less broken. So it's still not exciting enough for us to move back to OpenClaw. We're still on Hermes agent a lot, but we do have, I think, 30% of our agent roster, our agent fleet in OpenClaw, just to make sure we don't miss out on what's new with OpenClaw. So if you find this video helpful, smash up that like button, subscribe to the channel. My name is Ron. Shana now.